I think you're the only family-owned payment company I
Right.
have
Yes.
met so far.
Yes.
Like most of them, like Stripe, PayPal, and you name it, they're all investor-based, investor-driven, multinational conglomerates. And then you come with your 300 people, like kind of challenging the giants.
Yes.
So you have a very unique positioning as well.
We don't sell. We provide solutions. So our USP stays on not in selling, on providing solutions. We hold the customer's hands and walk them through in their journey, no matter what.
We've landed in a phase of e-commerce where profitability and efficiencies are like number one.
You have two options. You can be innovative or be a copycat.
Welcome to the EGN podcast, powered by the e-commerce Berlin Expo. I'm your host, Effe Fontaine, and today we're tackling a topic that's super important for anyone in the e-commerce game: how payment processing can make or break your sales. Did you know that about 75% of all shopping carts are abandoned before a checkout? A big reason for this is often related to payment options. In this episode, I'm joined by Gabriel Dixon, CEO of Novalnet. Gabriel and I will talk about payment strategies brands can implement to increase conversion rates. If you're an online brand aiming to boost your sales and enhance the shopping experience for your customers, this episode is for you. Hey, Gabriel, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Nice to have you here in Berlin. Very much interested in learning all kinds of insights from you. You're a payment expert, and you have a very, very special positioning in the payment market. We will get to that. But before we talk about Novalnet, your company that you founded, let's talk about you. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. I'm Gabriel Dixon, the founder and CEO of Novalnet. I started my career as a software engineer.
It's actually quite interesting because many of the big companies that they started doing something completely different. Like Netflix was selling DVDs, Amazon was selling books only, and so when did you decide to do payments? And why, actually?
Yes, a very, very interesting question. In the early 2000, my German career, 2001, 2005 in Germany, especially Bavaria. Many Germans call it Bavaria is not in Germany because Bavarians have a different attitude and the work-life balance. Bavarian culture pushed me a lot to be independent, to build your own thing. And so 2001, 2005, the finance expertise, experience, I missed something in payments. In 2001 to 2005, all these years, I was working in finance sector, being an IT project leader for various companies, building systems, finance technology platforms. It's always you were building something which is told to build.
Yeah.
But you didn't build something on your own, which of your dream. So then 2005, I came into a conclusion, why don't we build a different system? Because that time in 2005, when Novalnet was born, there were over 800 companies, 800 payment companies. And that times no license were required. Nobody needed a license, no BaFin control, no supervisory. So what happened in Germany had the highest payment companies ever.
Wow.
So let us say TPay. I mean, I'm sure you might have had it, Click and Buy from Deutsche Telekom. And then you have Ogone. That was one of the larger payment company. And then Ingenico. And all these companies, then Global Collect, they were all payment pioneers.
Yeah.
And now
you're standing against the giants.
Yes. But Novalnet, 800 companies were there in the payment industry, but none of them are focusing on the client. What they were focusing on was bringing money A to Z, which means a payment company means in the belief of the banks, they bring money of the customer from one end to other end. That's it. Collect the money from the consumer, give it to the merchant. Simple.
Yeah.
So all the barriers, risk, frauds, or the reconciliation, settlements, or the dunning debt collection, the failures. It's all the merchant has to deal with. So then I evaluated what is missing. The missing things were the end-to-end process flow for the merchants to cover. Every payment company was similarly acting as a finance transfer company. They transfer money from A to Z. That's it. So that is what, even in today's world, most of the company does. They build their brands. They bring money from A to Z. That's it. They don't care of the risk of the merchants. Everything merchant has to care.
Yeah.
So that is why I thought, okay, I built I planned the branches of the clients who I want to work with. A, B, C. A is a larger worldwide entities. B is a medium-sized company. C is startups or smaller companies.
Okay.
All these companies need a end-to-end flow in various front-end, back-end, accounting. These are the three different systems they want to serve.
Yeah.
And all these three different systems means you have various hurdles to face. People who are working in a company, they should feel like home.
Yeah.
So 8 hours of your time, Monday to Friday, you are working. And you cannot say, hey, rest hours, I'm at home. No, you will be 4 hours spending with your family and then you are sleeping. The sleeping hours does not count. So mostly you're spending most of your time in the office.
Yeah.
So for my interest was building a family environment. People feel like home and they love what they do.
Yeah.
This is how Novalnet.
It's super interesting to me because I know the payment landscape a little bit. You know, I've been in e-commerce for quite some years now, and usually you have, I mean, I think you're the only family-owned payment company I've met so far.
Yes.
Like most of them, like Stripe, PayPal, and you name it, they're all investor-based, investor-driven, multinational conglomerates. And then you come with your 300 people, like kind of challenging the giants.
Yes.
So you have a very unique positioning as well.
Yes.
So that makes, and then as far as I can tell, you're very, very passionate. But like, what is you mentioned? I want to go back to that. You mentioned that you do lots of hand-holding in a way that with your merchants, that not just like helping them with the transactions, but like going beyond that. Is that your USP or?
Well, I mean, people say, okay, USP, unique selling point.
Yeah.
So the explanation from our side is we don't sell. We provide solutions. So our USP stays on, not in selling, on providing solutions. We hold the customer's hands and walk them through in their journey, no matter what. If they are falling down, we hold them. If they are growing up, we grow with them. So that is how the success of Novalnet. We are a customer-centric company building solutions required for the customer business. In the payment industry, mostly it's do it yourself. Let's take Stripe. You have a developer API. You need to know what you want to build.
Yeah.
But many merchants in the online industry, either they are starting, they are large, they don't have the capacity, or they don't have the expertise, or they don't have the knowledge. So these things are the hurdles. So obviously, if they choose to do it yourself, they do things wrong.
Yeah.
So at the end, it's like in computer world, you say giga, garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah.
So if you put wrong things and then you get wrong output. So we are there. We as a only full service payment provider, we hold the merchants' hands and walk them through. So any merchant who approaches, they don't get a standard fees of us. Instead, we want to understand the business.
Yeah.
So we set up a 1 hour call. We call it requirement analysis. In German, we call it Bedarfanalyse. So we do this requirement analysis with the merchant, asking him which sales channel is he working, which clients he is focusing, B2C, B2B, where are the clients based? Germany, Austria, or DACH, or out of Europe, and what is he selling? Physical goods, digital goods. So then we evaluate the risks based on the market, based on the ticket size, where he's selling, and the acceptance. So then we provide them the customized solution built further. So it means 1 hour. So many merchants say, hey, I can go to Stripe, I can go to PayPal, I can open an account. Why with Novalnet? I can also open. Then I said, okay, if you want to open Novalnet account, we also built an online portal where you can set up your own account. But we always suggest for a real success, invest 1 hour of your time with one of our key account manager. It's free of cost. We don't say that you need to pay. Nothing. We just advise. It's a 1 hour solution-based call where we evaluate, we ask questions, we understand the business. And the funny thing is, our key account people realized, say, hey, while asking questions, many merchants are irritated. Why are you asking these questions? And later on, they realize that they were not prepared for those questions and they didn't know. So then we give them a hint, say, you need to know this before you build such, because you're not selling fishes. Even selling fish market, you need to know where you want to sell, what fish you want to sell, and how much you want to sell if you want to exist. So that's the important thing. These are basic elements where we say we focus on the merchants, customer centric, their recommends, understand the recommends, then build the solutions, provide them.
And right now, 2024, at the time of the recording, the e-commerce market is also not looking like it's changed a lot.
Yes.
I mean, you've seen the change yourself since 2007. Lots of stages that we've gone through, Corona, and then inflation. Right now, in 2024, we've landed in a phase of e-commerce where profitability is and efficiencies are like number one. Like everyone is looking at these factors very closly. And then I want to ask you, from your angle of looking at the market, how do you see the development, and what are main ways that a merchant can succeed in today's world?
It's a moving environment. Now AI comes in, takes over.
Yeah.
So you need to first have a right understanding or have the right team for building the technology for whatever your dreams are. You want to sell shoes, or you want to have digital platform for membership, subscription-based products, or one-time based products, or you want to have physical door-to-door drop shipping, or you want to build a marketplace. The technology platform is required. Now, let us focus. If you have a dream of scaling yourself, going on a bigger market, then you need to focus on building or something on your own, or having a team to build your own system. Or the best approach is, if you know you want to have a marketplace, there are many open sources. What I always would suggest is cloud systems are nice to have, but it's not must have. Many merchants, they fall for it. They say, hey, I don't have to do anything, having their own on-premise or even cloud-based, but whereas you have the license. Let us say SAP. SAP came up with the expensive idea, S/4HANA, SAP DP, digital payments add-on, but it's amazing. It's complicated, expensive, but amazing. If you want to scale, many companies don't go beyond SAP. So you need to go with the SAP. So we are partnered with SAP as well, because we always say, where it is complicated, it's fascinating. So we love.
But you have a very interesting ability to simplify everything too.
That is important, because the systems are complicated, but you have to understand it. So it's the time for your understanding recommend. And sometimes we see merchants come to a Novalnet and say, hey, Novalnet, we don't want to have the 1 hour call. Just give us the API, we'll get it done. That's it. And send us a fees. Then they could do it. But we always say that's not long-term success. You need to know your business. You need to know the risks in the payment, because many people misunderstand. It's because of also the payment providers. They act as just a money transferring company from A to Z. They don't feel responsible for taking care of the risks of the customer, the process, and the risk management, etc. So that is why we always say, hey, you need to go through the end. We need to understand your end-to-end process flow so that we could support you efficiently and provide you the profitability as well as the acceptance, what you're looking for.
How big is this topic of fraud, in your opinion?
Well, compared to US and UK, Germany is still low, but still it is considerably high, because Germany has been open, let us say, to the international market, especially for the business entrepreneurs. That's how PayPal, Amazon, all the American companies, or Klarna, Swedish company, they're growing here. That's because of this openness. Also, many foreign influences as well as the frauds occurs. And there are many frauds happening, IP-based frauds and address-based. frauds, identity thefts.
Yeah.
These all are happening in real time. So if you don't have a right fraud prevention and you are selling your physical goods, digital goods, without any proper protection, you're going to lose it at the long term run. People know, okay, hey, that's easy. I could log in. And
massive complexity.
Yes, and the funniest part is a person who is doing a fraud. He's not being silent. He's sharing it to others. He's telling, "Hey, look at this. I bought it. Nothing happened. So you could also use it. So
Yeah.
it'll be published further."
Yeah.
So then there'll be a lot of fraud attacks going to happen. So it's always good to focus on, security is one important aspect, and fraud prevention is important. Before, we had merchants, they were just checking the numbers of the accounts instead of checking the real account.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is all. It's like open doors. You're keeping your door open for the thief to come in and steal. We know that we built a solution almost 5 years back for companies like Adidas and AXA. It's a one-click payment, which is we tokenize the payments. So we authorized when the customer is in checkout, customer authorizes his card or bank details one time. Then we create a unique token, and this token is stored in the basket. So what happens is any follow-up orders, customer does not have to repeat his payment journey. That is what's happening in today's world.
Yeah.
And now your question, you said PayPal made it simplified, it is attractive. That's nothing, it's one click.
Yeah.
So this is what PayPal did. But finally, they branded it as a brand name.
Yeah.
At the end, it's not, PayPal is not a payment method. It's a brand.
But Gabriel, to be very frank with you, I'm quite impressed with what you're telling us, but I didn't know about Novalnet in the past so much. Why not?
Well, that's again the conservative approach of an entrepreneur. I believed not. I really not believed on marketing, and I realized that was a mistake because you see all the brand names building around the real payment methods, PayPal, Klarna. But however, my ideology was not to put ourselves in front. We are hidden champions. One of the secret of our success is we want to stay behind our customers, but making sure the entire end-to-end journey is taken care by us.
Yeah.
Not about, bringing money from A to Z like other payment companies.
Yeah.
We are a full service payment provider. We take over the entire cycle from the checkout, risk management, dunning and debt collection, and payment guarantee. Any risks are taken care by Novalnet. So the merchant are absolutely hassle-free. The entire technology, whatever platform the merchant is using, Magento, SAP, Salesforce, any system, you name it, we support it.
Okay.
So we have a technology team. That is how we do it.
So you're platform agnostic.
Yes, absolutely.
Whatever.
Especially which is built for customer purposes, which means our systems, it's unlike other payment providers. Customer are not buying to take our system, do the interfaces and connect to us. Instead, we provide solutions where the merchant can customize the process of Novalnet according to their requirements. That is the independency which we give to merchants.
When we look at the market 2024, what are 3 big mistakes done by merchants that are killing their conversions?
Brilliant. Good question. It's because relying on brands.
Yeah.
So I remember one of a larger company came to us. They wanted to have PayPal and Klarna in the front, but their large customer base is subscription based, and it is one of a large brand magazine in Germany, in DACH region. They are selling online magazines and also physical magazines subscriptions. Larger company, and this subscriptions, what they were building, they had existing customers. Over 100,000 customers. Having those 100,000 customers, they wanted to also launch PayPal and Klarna through their billing business, for their billing, because they said, our marketing team is keen on PayPal and Klarna because it's easy to pay. That was their
Yeah.
solution, because they were working with another German payment provider, and they had the hurdle because every time existing customer comes in, he need to go through various steps to complete subscription or running subscription. What our suggestion was, please give us first 3 months. We would suggest you apply our solution. 3 months you wait, and then you can decide how you going to do, because they had like 100,000 existing subscriptions users. And let us say it's simple, like you said, profitability and efficiency. These are two things which we focus for merchants, not for us.
Yeah.
So profitability in the sense, if you say you take card payments, you are a merchant who is making 100,000 euro as a medium-sized merchant in a month. So when you make 100,000 euro, you pay, let us say, Klarna or PayPal 2.5 till 3.5%, which is in average near 3,500 euro. You pay the fee just for the payment. And that PayPal has a transaction fee of 39 cents per transaction. So all these fees comes into a proportional average of almost 4 to 5% of your business. So we say you pay 5% of your business for your existing customers to process the subscription. But now currently you're paying not even 2%. So why do you want to throw this money away? So if you say 3,000 in a month, then it will be 36,000 a year. That is for 100,000. This merchant will processing 7 digits in a month. That's million.
Yeah.
So millions means it's over 100,000s of loss. That is what they are going to. So we told, you don't need PayPal, you don't need Klarna. All you need is user-based experience and a tokenized process, a provider which supports you on behind. And we are not somebody who is selling, who are promoting ourselves. We stay behind you. It's your business. And the advantage for you towards PayPal and Klarna, you as a merchant, you own the data.
Yeah.
But the data is secure with us. Tomorrow, if you need Novalnet, we always help you migrate those data which we have. You take it away with you to other provider. But with PayPal, Klarna, your payment data is gone. So we as a German company, we believe a merchant, a larger or medium-sized merchant, he need to own his data. And it should be in Germany if he is processing, or at least in Europe, not in somewhere in...
Why is this important?
Yes, because of your responsibility towards a customer. Imagine a consumer comes online trusting you as a merchant. And no customer comes to online because you provide PayPal. No. I mean, that's what the interesting topic, which one of my business development manager, as well as our CEO, Chief Operations Officer, that's Emmanuel. He's also very passionate. He always says, like, we are partnered with PayPal, we are partnered with other larger companies, brands. But however, we tell the merchants, we open their eyes, say, hey, it's your responsibility. If you want to give your consumer data to PayPal, then it's your responsibility. So PayPal needs a basket. So honestly, my question to PayPal is, why do they need the consumer data, especially the shipping cart details? Why? You don't need the shipping cart details, isn't it? And there are many things which came further. Also Klarna. So what happens? They become big data players. So later, one day it will happen. They will have a bookshelf. They will have their own marketplace. So they have the history of the customer. Who bought where? So that is why the data privacy is gone, where it is gone. So it's important for the merchants to have their data privacy. Small merchants, they don't want to care till they grow.
So one of the mistakes is not owning your data, in your opinion.
Yes. And especially not owning your data, and additionally choosing the brands. Thinking, okay, if I provide PayPal, I don't have to do anything. No.
But PayPal accounts for over, I mean, when you look at the consumer side, PayPal accounts for more than 70% of all brand transactions in Germany, as far as I know. So they do have a quite stronghold in the German market.
Simply why? The simple idea is behind the merchants. Because all the larger companies we faced is the marketing department. They want to be innovative. They would say, hey, if I provide PayPal, then it becomes elegant. They don't understand. But if you work with the entrepreneurs say, hey, it's my company. I want it. So let us take Deutsche Telekom.
Yeah.
Let us take larger companies, Airbus and B2B business. They don't want to work with PayPal. So number one, it's expensive. So number two, the customer data is stored, especially if you have a payment data. You don't have the payment data anymore. Imagine tomorrow, the reason year's activity repeatedly happens, kafir shoots. I mean, it's like protection, they say consumer protection. And PayPal can freeze your account. And the merchants, smaller merchants, medium-sized merchants, the business is gone if the PayPal freezes their account.
It's a
So
very high reliability.
yes. And because something is not clear, that'll be frozen. So
Yeah.
that is why we suggest the merchants to choose your payment provider who works for you,
Yeah.
who accepts your terms and works behind you. And you don't need brands to sell.
Yeah.
Important is you need to have the good payment mix. That's, let us say, in Germany, like you said, 70% of PayPal. So out of 70%, 90% is direct debit. I mean, SEPA. So anybody who pays with PayPal, I mean, I'm sure you have a PayPal account as well. Or
Yeah.
when you pay, how PayPal deducts you? Or your card payments, or
Yeah,
your direct debit SEPA.
You have a couple of options.
Yes.
Zepa,
Yes.
your
So
credit card.
Yes, these are the payment methods.
Yeah.
So PayPal is a brand.
Yeah.
So PayPal is an option for triggering your payment, but at the end, it's a wallet. What I love about, you said in the Apple and Google Pay, they made one thing right instead of PayPal and Klarna. They didn't go and tie the customer with their fees. So you don't pay any fees to Apple.
Yeah.
You don't Apple Pay, or you don't pay any fees to Google Pay, like with PayPal. And you are not dependent on Apple Pay and Google Pay. Because at the end, every merchant should have a provider where the card transactions would run through those providers. That's called merchant account. So its merchant account is set by the payment providers, and the transaction, that anything goes happen, etc. The fees, everything you pay for the provider. That's it. Not for Apple Pay, not for Google Pay.
Yeah.
That is the ideal value. What I believe this will grow compared to PayPal and Klarna.
But to wrap things up, I mean, which payment methods, in your opinion, are a must for any merchant?
Well, yes.
Just the methods.
Yes,
that
the
you
payment
offer.
methods. Let us leave the brands aside. Klarna, PayPal, it's a brand. So payment methods or classical payment methods, Kaffeefrequenung, pay by invoice. And it's also named as buy now, pay later.
Yeah.
Pay by
BNPL.
invoice means, pay by invoice is buy now, pay later. That's a marketing brand which is said buy now, pay later. Because if you want to pay invoice, you have a due date.
Yeah.
So you're buying now, paying later.
Never thought about it this way, but it's actually true.
So let us talk about from consumer side, because consumers are the one who is buying.
Yeah.
Pay by invoice, direct debit, SEPA Lastschrift. In SEPA, Europe, entire European Union is supported by SEPA, direct debit. And then comes on local heroes, online bank transfers, and card payments.
Yeah.
Especially those wallets, that gives the merchants independency. The payment data or the customer data are safe with merchant or his provider, which is Apple Pay and Google Pay. And that's it. PayPal and Klarna are nice to have. They are not must to have. Why they are not must to have? Because at the end, the customer, whoever has a PayPal account, he has a SEPA direct bank account or his card. Okay. And whoever has a Klarna, he has his bank account. So no one, it's a wrong idea or thought process of merchants. Oh, if I don't provide PayPal, my customer will leave the checkout. No. My only one question is, customer comes to your shop for PayPal or for your product? They come to you for your product. So let him buy it. But make it easy. The only thing why PayPal and Klarna are highly accepted is it's simple, easy to pay.
Yeah.
So make the customer journey easy. Let us say one click.
Yeah.
So if it is recognize your customer, that is what many companies don't do. That's why they simply outsource it, leaving it to PayPal and Klarna, but paying a high price.
If you're a merchant listening to this podcast, if you could tweak, can you name us a few low-hanging fruits that everyone could easily fix in their checkout, or relatively easy, and that will have a big impact on their conversion rates? What would those be?
Absolutely. It's putting the right payment mix
Yeah.
and your checkout journey. Take at least an hour with some technical experts or user experience, UI experience people to evaluate your checkout journey, which is they would identify the frictions of the checkout flow. You need to first select shipping, you need to select this and that, etc. So you lose the journey, yeah? And
Yeah.
try to provide any step the express payment option, which
Yeah.
means you select one product, you can always show him the button buy now
Yeah.
or go to basket.
I think those are even like two different customer profiles.
Yes.
One really is in a rush,
Yes.
wants to get things done
yes.
and move on to the next.
Brilliant.
The other one wants to take
Yeah.
his time and really like
Yeah.
go through every single step.
Yes.
Be sure of,
Yes.
I'm a millennial, right? So I noticed when I have to make a big and important purchase, like buying a plane ticket, it's so funny. I have to sit at a computer and just like sit down and make this decision, have my credit card ready. It's just like probably Gen Z, they never do this, I can imagine. And looking at the projection for 2028 at ECDB, and 2/3 of all transactions will go shift to mobile devices.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
And that's the new generation. So like when you're on a mobile device, I would assume that you want to skip a couple of steps, whereas at a desktop computer you might be sitting like you're in this mood. Okay,
Absolutely.
you're not on the go.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're sitting somewhere, you're standing somewhere, and you might be able to take your time, right?
Absolutely.
That's just my personal
Absolutely.
observation.
I mean, let us say Asian countries, very fast moving. It's take Japan, you take China or India. So India is 90% is m-commerce.
Wow.
That's crazy. I mean, recently I'd been to India almost a couple of months back. I was surprised. I saw tender coconuts on the street. The street guy selling tender coconut, he has one QR code. It's called QR payments. You scan this QR code and you pay. Bing.
Yeah.
That's you just scan it. Your payment is done. It's crazy how the payment revelation works. But Germany, it would need time because Germans are more secure oriented, and also there are limitations for NFC payments, contactless payments. There are very limitations, and also huge certifications requirements come in. So that that quick moving or would need time. Yeah. But mobile payments and commerce is future.
Talking about especially the Chinese giants that have exponential growth in European markets, and taking a look at markets like Spain, Italy, companies like Temu, Shein, but also AliExpress, and stuff like TikTok Shop is coming slowly but surely. These companies are gaining massive market share. In Germany, a little bit slower in comparison to Spain and Italy and France. Because the consumer is not so price sensitive like in those markets.
Absolutely.
But what do you think about German brands in their capacity? First of all, what do you think about this move at all? And how the second part of the question is, how can the German brands compete against these players, in your opinion?
Well, that's a very good thing to compete. Germany, whatever, they are more secure or security minded and afraid of new things. But other side, the new generation is exploitory. They are evolving, and they are tend to go for new things. So everything new is attractive. So to the brands to build their if to their reliability for long term, it's always important that they also open up themselves. Let us say, because if all these platforms, Chinese platform you see, they are marketplaces at the end. Amazon marketplace, Zalando marketplaces. Many brands go down because of their non-ability, scalability in online. Either they have a closed shop system or cloud system, or they don't have anything at all. They say, come and buy it on store. That is how the brands die today. So they need to focus more on online, on their own scalability, especially having the right system in place, having the right process in place,
Yeah.
and opening doors for further vendors. It means not to go into another marketplaces, because I understand many brands, Marco Polo, etc., they don't want to go to sell their brands in the marketplace. Then they will lose their names
Yeah.
and the value. So instead, they should build their own marketplaces, which helps into scalability, which means they could have any vendors take part.
Yeah.
That is how that is how Amazon grew. That is how Amazon grew rapidly. That's how Salonda grew. They opened their markets for other companies.
Yeah.
So why don't you build your own marketplace when Amazon can do?
You make it sound very easy.
Now, yeah, I know it is. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but you don't have to. Many people say I have to be innovative to build something. No, you have two options. You can be innovative or be a copycat. What is better?
Fast follower. Yeah.
So which means you are innovative, you build, you take time, you invest, or you be a copycat, a
Yeah.
fast follower. So you don't have to innovate. You can adopt things. Important is you have to be open.
Yeah.
My father always said to me, life is a learning process. We keep learning.
Yeah.
We need to be open to learn.
Yeah.
Many people,
Absolutely.
when they reach a stage, when they say, "Hey, I'm a project manager, I'm a CEO, or I'm a director of a company, I know everything." No, we know nothing. Life,
Gabriel,
yes, we need to learn.
that's an excellent way to wrap things up. um, my last question to you
Yeah.
is, if you had a crystal ball
Mm.
and you could predict the future, what is coming at us in the next 5 years that we have to be prepared for in the e-commerce game?
Absolutely, yes. The AI threat, artificial intelligence, and all the giants, because now everybody is, let us say, the merchants are say, okay, I take PayPal, I take Klarna, I take Google, use all these systems to market my products, but later on these systems will take over your business. That is what's going to happen in the future, because every company who is a big data player, they are all investors driven mostly. The investors are focused on making more bigger, larger numbers. So once what happens, if they own data, all the big data, they know the markets, then they say, hey, why can't we build our own marketplaces where I could sell it cheaper? I have all the merchants, I have all the consumers, and they're all my contractual party. That is one of the risk. So at the end, we need to be prepared for AI. We need to understand what it is doing, how it could influence the market, how it could rapidly help companies for their online growth,
Yeah.
and the evaluation, the data reporting, analytics, everything is done
Yeah.
very quick, very simplified. So that is a one revelation which is already happening. The merchant has to be focused on, and the other revelations are the latest trends in payment products, payment methods from our payment side, which is you need to focus on the right payment methods, especially having the right payment partners
Yeah.
who would help you to scale, to support you in different markets.
Hmm.
That's the thing. And then recently there are things coming in like Vero, from the European sort of against, it's a valid system, and European Payment Institution, EPI, is launched, and then as well DORA. It's for all the companies for their security. It's a regulatory requirement from entire Europe. Every company, payment company, has to go through that, so that making sure the security.
Yeah.
And these are all the changes which is coming in for
Yeah.
the future, and also the cryptocurrencies. So later on, it'll be most probably in a year.
Yeah.
There'll be cryptocurrencies taking over.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Those are topics for our next conversation for sure. Gabriel, I have to thank you for all the insights and your authentic way of
Thank you.
talking about your passion for this business. Yeah, you being someone who's made a family business quite big in comparison to all the investor-driven companies who are your competitors. And one thing I remember, and I want to go back to before I close up, is that you mentioned you have a team of experts that are also willing to sit down for an hour or so with brands and help them completely without any strings, just to help them out, listen to them and provide some suggestions. If you're listening, if our audience is listening to this and would like to contact you, where should they reach out to you?
We have a key account, sales@novalnet.de. They could write an email requesting anything. So maybe the email address is sales, but we don't sell, we provide solutions.
Yeah, we will put that in the show notes. So for anyone who's interested and who's curious what how they can profit and go the next take a next step in the payment game, they can reach out to you. And thank you so much for being part of our show.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of the EGN podcast. If you found our discussion insightful, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channels on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Your support helps us grow and improve our content. See you next time.